Lossoth have given their blessings and aid to the company's errand, and thus far they have been strangely fortunate. Now, as they draw ever closer to Amon Guruthos, the shadows begin to grow deeper. They've encountered Lossoth, which have returned to the old ways, and now the dead rise again as denizens of the hill to impede their path.
So, when last we left off, you all had made your way into the far northern reaches of Middle-earth, into the lands of Forochel, near the Ice Bay of Forochel. You made contact with JJknight and his tribe, had counsel with his uncle, Egel, who you more or less convinced the folly of returning to the old ways, even if it is out of necessity, of preventing further incursion by the spirits and the malice of the Hill of Fear off in the distance. You got some help, got some supplies, some coats of the Lossoth, keeping you warm throughout your travels. You traveled out into the wastes and found a sacrificial burn site at Tusk Hill. You continued on after incurring a little bit of shadow and encountered a number of other men of the north, Lossoth hunters, as it were, who didn't seem all that friendly, but you were able to talk them down. Shortly before they notice, some fell beings approach. They succinctly fled, and now here we are at the cusp of battle with a number of whites. I say whites as if that the W had an H following it. It doesn't. And so you see these lumbering masses of bone and rusted metal approaching you all. Ancient swords in hand, kind of rusted to the point where there are bits and pieces missing, these jagged edges, instilling just this deep dread on your spirits. What would you all like to do, if anything?
Shoot them, preferably.
I don't think there's any negotiating with them, so...
Yeah, I think we're going to have to deal with them.
I'm pretty sure we can't hide from them either, so...
Okay. And so, in the low winter sun, you all prepare to do battle with these hill whites. And so, we will begin. You all have enough time for an opening volley as these whites approach you.
Is there anything affecting our ability to fight at the moment?
At the moment, no. However, before you do fire, I need everybody to give me a shadow roll for Valor.
All right. Remember
cool. I'm gonna make that favored with a fellowship die.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it's a new session. We've got our resources back.
I should have made you guys roll this at the end of last session. That way you were fresh out of those.
I'm also gonna burn a freaking hope because I don't want to be scared of these bitches.
So many dice.
I got madly sleeped. I don't like that.
Alright, you all have faced these terrors before. You know what to expect. So none of you gain any shadow at the beginning of combat. And so, we can move on to our opening volley as you all loose arrows at these horrible beings.
I'll go first then.
Yeah,
no.
Go for it.
Lovely. That's 3 die on top of my first bow shot. So, +4. That's gonna be a pierce, I think.
It's a 9 on the die.
9, yep. Sweet. So I will heavy blow.
Okay. So it is going to make a protection roll. Hillwhite is wounded. However, he is going to spend a hate die to cancel that wound.
Fuck you.
Not ready to die.
That sounds illegal.
You know what? I'm bringing back the middle finger Gandalf ring.
All right.
I'll go next.
All right. Let's go.
We'll target the same one. Nope.
Oh.
Not quite.
Ouch.
The wind and the snow is in your eyes, blurring your vision. You miss your shot as it goes wide. And
If only someone in the world of Middle-earth had invented something called polarized glasses.
If only.
I'll give the next shot a go. Nope.
Oh dear.
Not
At least
quite.
you didn't roll an Eye of Sauron.
The shot from your tiny bow goes wide and ricochets off of one of these stones of these ancient ruins which surround you.
Stop ruining our history. All right. Watch where you're shooting, little one. All right. Gonna give it a shot here. Let's see. That'll be pretty good. He won't be able to pierce, but he can do 2 heavy blows. Well, yeah, he can't. Even if he added 2 pierces on, I don't think it would matter, would it?
No.
No. I don't think so.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Let's see. All right, and so you loose an arrow at this one, and a killing blow, surely. But another hate is expended as his endurance is reset to full.
Yeah.
I hate you.
So much hate. What can men do against such reckless hate? And elves and hobbits.
Alright. And much like the fabled Boromir, which hasn't actually happened in the timeline yet, this thing is riddled with arrows and continues to fight on. And so, we move on into our main phase of combat. You all can choose your stances, and you can select your engagement as these Hillwhites lumber forward.
Alright. Mary will approach the one that we've already expended resources on. And will all my stuff automatically apply since this is an undead?
Some of it you might have to change, because I know that some of them, it changes depending on whether it's a Bane creature or not. So, like, for example, your Grievous feature, when you're facing an undead or a Bane creature, it uses Valor instead of a static 2 or 1.
Okay.
Fun.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't think it necessarily automatically applied stuff, but that's okay. We'll go for a pierce.
Okay. Let's see. Protection roll. And where is wounded? Okay. You're just bleeding it dry, As you jab into this Hillwhite, it freezes as you feel a certain bit of power surge through this spear, and it falls over lifeless.
Let's go.
Sob.
All right.
Right. So
It's Russian time.
he is going to use his royalty revealed, so he's going to make the free, secondary action for his Enhearten roll to see if he can rally everyone.
All right. He's going to use
Next
his
round.
spell presence to make that, to
Oops.
take 1d off of that.
All right, so that would
Would've been a
probably be
two.
the 6, because that
Nope.
was the first one rolled, right?
It would be the last one rolled.
But regardless, you take 2 off. That'd be 14. Your target's 15, so. Rude.
So nobody is Enhearten for next rounds or whatever, and they don't. But I think even if it fails,
We're still inspired.
you're still inspired next round. When you use Hope Dice, you're still inspired, but you don't get any bonus to your attacks. And then he will swing at it with my sword.
Very nice.
Do I want to spend any hope? Nah, I don't want to spend any hope right now because things could get bad. We're just going to try it.
Nice.
That's a pretty good hit.
Very good. Very good.
Well, hopefully he has to spend a hate to not be wounded.
Let's see. Yep.
It's a nice wound you have there. It'd be a shame if anything happened to it.
He just...
Yep. You slice it across the belly, and what would have killed a normal man definitely does not kill this fiend. All right, Miragar.
I think I'm going to do the usual Thrush and Miragar battle tactics. So let me see if I can. All right, we'll take 2 dice on the next attack for at Thrush.
Okay, very
Amazing.
good. All right, and Aranel.
Jeez. What kind of scan roll you got there?
3 dice again on my bow roll.
Okay.
Ooh. You know what? Just because I'm gonna do a couple heavy blows, because I don't like this guy.
Okay.
That's reasonable.
All right, you loose an arrow, and the arrow sticks right into its eye socket where its eyes would have been. And you see its head snaps back, and you hear this crackling of the bones within its neck as it straightens back out. Cricks and cracks and pops and looks back at all of you. And as such, he is planning on returning the favor. And he is going to attack Miragar with his ancient sword. He's going to spend a hate die to make that an even roll. To no avail. Alright.
Remember, Miragar, we need you to attack things so you give us hope.
Alright, and Thrush, this one's coming to you. And how many am I missing on this one? 2?
I believe it's 2.
Yeah.
2 off.
Okay. So this one's not even going to bother spending hate. Because it's going to miss. Maybe. Dang it! Should have spent hate! Ugh. Oh well.
I mean, it wouldn't have mattered.
Hell yeah. Alright, so 2 blows missed. And you notice that as the low winter sun hangs on the horizon, they cower before its very presence. There is a mechanical benefit to you all in having them out in the sunlight.
Excellent.
Good.
All right, and back to the top of the order.
Alright. I don't appreciate this one attacking Miragar, so I'll attack it.
Nice.
Okay.
That was a 10, so auto pierce. So we're just gonna heavy blow it.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything you can do about that. Thanks to Estelon.
Finally, I get to be useful since we're not fighting orcs.
Yeah.
Dead. Larry to the front.
Yep. At that, Larry taking another one out. Give me some details. How does this white fall at your feet?
Larry probably sees it cowering before the sunlight and just takes an opportunity to just jab it probably through one of the eye sockets. Like, oh, you want to look at the sun? How about look at this?
All right, very good. Next up, Thrush.
All right. So even though we're inspired, spending hope still might not be all that useful, given the fact that these things have a remarkable ability to not fall down. He is going to just attack it.
We can still waste resources.
That's
Please
true.
do.
That's true. We could wait a second. Well, we don't know what's ahead.
Oh,
Wait,
no,
who's-
resources.
Wait,
not
whose
ours.
side are you on?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wait. Man,
Okay.
it's resources.
Yeah, exactly. It's resources. Take some more damage.
Yeah, we need to drain their hate.
Okay. And
Or just wait until I show up.
and a
It's
good
just
hit,
Waiting you.
a solid hit. You're able to sever its offhand from its arm as it reaches out towards you, grasping, trying to grab a hold of you so it can get up close, and you sever its hand from its wrist.
This is but a scratch.
There you go.
Just look at Aranel. I learned that from your brother.
Miragar is going to team up with Thrush and attack with the Axe of Hope.
Yeah, and if you do spend a hope, you do get double this round, if you care.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you're inspired.
Oh,
Once we
okay.
went into the
Nice.
next round.
Aha.
9 damage. Wow. Okay. It is not looking great.
So remind me, how does Miragar's axe work? He just has to hit, or does he have to do an injury?
Nope, he just has to hit, and on a hit, everybody regains a point of endurance, plus 1 point of endurance for every additional success die he gets.
Okay.
Nobody's hurt, but yeah.
That's pretty cool, though.
Still inspiring.
All right, and Aranel.
Scan. Aw, just a regular success this time.
Listen,
Oh,
Gandalf can only give out so much at a time.
I was hoping for a turkey. Just 3 in a row. Yeah. Nice little auto pierce.
oh no!
Oh,
All
there
right.
it is. He was saving it for the important role.
Let's see. Well, let's see.
Something. I spend all the hate.
Yeah, he's he's gonna have to spend 2 hate in order to survive that, because that would have gotten him on both fronts. But you do see yet another killing blow thwarted by the fell powers that reside within these horrible beings. All right, and so it is back up to this hill white. It is going to continue to try to thwart or throttle poor Thrush. It doesn't lose any additional dice, but it is going to try to spend a point of hate to give himself an additional success die on this. And still not enough.
And that's without
Still
Thrush
not
wearing a helmet.
enough. It swings out with its ancient sword. Thrush easily brushes it to the side and comes back in for another killing stroke. Back to the top.
Mary!
All right. You know what? I am actually gonna say I want to forward stance for this because it's the only enemy left. And unfortunately, that did not work out. Or it did. Oh no, it did. Okay.
Yep.
Just no success die.
That's perfectly fine. You're whittling it away. You see little bits of its black armor begin to fall off as you beat it to a pulp, and it almost breaks as it's rusted beyond all use. It breaks and falls to the ground beneath its feet.
All right.
All right. Any secondary actions or anything?
Nope.
Thrush.
Going to try, and now that he has distracted it, try and get it.
Pocket sand.
Let's see, what does he get? Is that a pierce on it?
Success.
You got an auto pierce. You got a 10.
Pierce on 10.
Yep, and 11 damage.
Oh.
Oh no.
And even as it's out of hate, it finally succeeds on its
Protection.
on its
roll.
protection roll, and narrowly escapes being felled forever, sending the spirit that inhabits it back from whence it came. Any secondary actions?
He brings that sword down across its, basically in a quick, close thing, right across his throat, and is just like thinking, yes, we did it, and it just probably turns his head and looks at him. He's like,
Yes.
a little surprised by that, like, ah!
this entire time, you're hearing these whispers, this horrible fell song, which is kind of resides in your ears, and this thing, it uses this black speech, which you're able to understand, and almost it entrances you to a certain point, as its teeth chitter and chatter rhythmically.
Hopefully you gave Miragar an opening there.
All right, Miragar.
All right.
Bonk
Swing,
it.
swing, swing. Oh,
Ah.
rough.
Oh, that's rough. As you swing out and your axe meets it, and what little bit of armor it has left was able to protect it.
No, Miragar took off that piece of armor, not that one.
As he
His axe is
swings,
heavy.
Thrush hears the pull back of that bow string, and he just kind of leans backwards out of the combat.
She's just threading the
arrow is
needle,
coming.
just right between Thrush and Miragar. Just
All right.
Aranel's so accurate, it goes through Thrush's beard.
It works. I needed a trim anyway.
All right, Aranel, as you have worn this thing down through a battle of attrition, how do you finally set this poor soul to rest?
just center mass. She's very much over the fact that it hasn't died yet. So
And
she's just aiming right in the middle.
very good. And this body, which has seen so much wear and tear, finally gives out. The spirit no longer has any use for it, as you can tell that whatever spirits had inhabited these forms flee back to whence they came.
Does this look like old Angmar armor from the Witch King's army? Does this look like Manish or from Arthadate? Is it really old?
Go ahead and give me a lore roll.
Going to see how we do here.
After that arrow lands, Larry probably sticks the body with Estelang anyways, just because he doesn't trust this undead stuff, but he knows his spear's good against it.
That was an awful roll.
As you kind of look around at this armor, there's not much left of it to really examine. It is very difficult to actually get an idea of where this came from, who these men were, or if these were even men to begin with.
That's a good point.
Well, they weren't dwarves or hobbits.
Well noted. And look around. Does anyone see?
Yeah, have the...
More?
Are there any more, and have the men of the north just ran away, nowhere to be seen?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a scan roll. You kind of peruse about your surroundings, making sure that you're free and clear.
That was cocked on a Gandalf.
You've still got more successes than me.
Only no, you only got 3 success dice.
Oh, woe is
It would
you.
have been better if I had the Gandalf.
Did mine ever show up? Oh, mine never showed up. Let me try it again. I'm sorry if I get 2 rolls here. Nope.
Nope. Okay. So as you all kind of look around, you don't
Thrush is confounded by the
see
armor.
any other forms of shadow lumbering towards you. It seems as though at this point you are alone. You don't see those Lossoth hunters any longer either. It seems as though they fled, but the only thing you do hear is faint curses on the wind, almost as if something is angry.
Yeah. I think we should probably take these bodies, put them on a pile, and burn them,
Agreed.
if possible,
bad
in
idea.
the current weather.
See if we can get a flame to take.
All right, so you gather these bodies up and lay them on a pyre. Go ahead and give me a craft roll to try and light this fire.
Remind me, I have 3 unfavored. What are you, Aranel?
3 unfavored, target 14.
Okay, yeah. You.
I'm favored with 1, but a target number of 15.
Yep.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Very good. Okay. So, yeah, you build this pyre up with as much wood from the surrounding trees as you can. Luckily enough, you have enough cover thanks to this this grouping of trees. There's enough dead branches and dried enough wood for you to actually set these things alight. But you do see as you set them alight, the flame which surrounds them and begins burning them away has almost a faint blue tint.
What time of day is it now? How long have we been traveling?
Give me a travel roll.
Got it.
Nice. Okay. So you know that it's very difficult to tell what time it is up here, as the sun has not departed your sight. But you kind of think back as to how long you've been traveling, how far you've come, and you guess that in decent places, you'd probably be getting about to dinner time.
I don't know if you guys, with some of the natural protections of the runes and everything, we want to camp here. Maybe.
That's probably the safest place we're going to find in this forsaken place.
Not many options for shelter, so.
Not really, no.
Agreed.
Thrush, what kind of ruins are these? Can you tell?
Start looking, especially at the statue, to see if we
Yes.
can make heads or tails out of any of it.
The
Yeah.
statue looks pretty neat.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me another lore roll.
See if I can do better this time. There's a lot of snow in my eyes. I'm just gonna warn you. Everything's covered in snow.
No.
Oh, hey.
You.
Clearly, you're an expert at like structures, just not armors.
Very good. Okay, you can tell as you look around, this is not the construction of the men of the North. This is the construction of something far darker, something in service to the dark powers. The statue itself, while you don't know the name of the individual who it's depicting, you can tell that it is a man, and you can tell that its construction is meant to commemorate someone who is in service to probably the Witch King.
He's just gonna grimace and say, "It stinks of Angmar, all of it, every bit of it. But we need shelter, so."
Yes, we'll make sure not to overstay our welcome, such as it was.
And just look over at Aranel. Keep your eyes open. We may have more visitors.
I'll be sure to alert you if we do.
I was going to say get some rest, but
I don't need it.
And so you all huddle together and get as much warmth as you can for the night. Is there anything you would like to do over the course of the evening?
Just create as good a shelter as we can and hunker down.
yep.
Okay, very good. And so you all huddle together in some semblance of warmth for the evening. It is uneventful, though it is difficult for you to find rest in this area, not only because of the cold, but also because of the dark, sinking feelings that you get while trying to take some rest. There is always something over your shoulder watching you, willing you to fall into the next chasm that you come across, or wander off aimlessly into the snow to die. But regardless, the sun kind of does its rounds along the horizon, makes its way all the way around to the other side of the sky, and you would guess that as you awaken, it is technically the next day.
Technically. Well, the good thing for us is that we always seem to have a friend.
Miragar's time is based on his stomach.
To be honest, that's probably more accurate.
Which is why he knew it was around dinner time when he was like, well, maybe we should hunker down here for the evening.
To be honest, that's probably the most accurate timepiece in the entire realm.
Yep.
And probably, you know, Thrush looking at him saying, "Are you sure?" And Miragar just going.
You just hear this.
It's whatever o'clock. Got it.
It's second breakfast o'clock.
It's going time.
It's formal dinner time. You know?
Oh.
Hmm.
I don't think we're going to be very formal out here.
No. Sadly.
All right, and so, as you all set out once again, I don't know if you all have any need for a long rest, but you can go ahead and take one.
I might take 2 hope back just because I'm down to 6.
I'll take 1.
I think I'm going to hold off for Rush. I'm at 8 out of 11. I do have 4 Shadow, but you could always take a Shadow Scar.
Speaking of which, I am curious, and I'm sure that the audience is as well. Miragar. 7 Shadow for Miragar.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm hurting.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's refused to take a scar, though.
I mean, good on you, man. That's that's a
He's
lot.
getting to the point where he's going to have to, but he's not there yet.
Just out of the blue, walking along, pull out one of the last pieces of dry jerky he's been holding on to, and just, for no apparent reason, just hold it out to Miragar as we're walking.
All right, and as you all set out the next day, I need another travel roll from our guide, please.
I will get that. Let's see, travel roll. I've heard of these.
Yes, you have.
Nice.
Okay, very good.
Bit of a traveler myself.
All right, so you continue trekking across the wastes of Forochel for about a day and a half. And eventually you come to the site of a hill. A hill black and looming on the horizon. It's almost as you had seen it in your dreams, a dark stain on the horizon, a fixed point like an axle around which the world revolves. The only difference is that it doesn't seem so dark. In your dreams, the sides of the hill are black as though scorched by a blazing fire, but you can see that there is a dusting of snow on its flanks, brushing it with white strokes. It's as though some internal heat of the hill maybe has diminished, or perhaps it's returning. And you continue on trekking forward for the next day and a half. And by the 3rd day, the sight of the hill has become maddening. Everything is the same. The hill has not come closer, and every time you turn away and make a departure from your route, it seems to inch up behind you. But even as you turn towards it, it recedes from you. I need everybody to give me a shadow roll for wisdom.
Okay. Great, I don't remember. Gandalf roll.
Okay, everybody succeeds. Somehow, you all perhaps expected this. But as you all travel forward...
We've all seen it in our dreams. It's not a big deal. It looked better in the pictures online than in person.
Aranel hasn't.
It's like every burger in existence.
What are these dreams you're speaking of?
What is it? Dreaming.
What is sleep?
And I need for somebody to give me 2 feet dice and 1 success die.
Right?
4.
Aranel,
Yeah.
as you approach the Hill of Fear, you see a dark shape in the snow ahead of you. I need you to give me an awareness roll, if you would.
Extraordinary success.
Okay. You approach, and as you do, you can see that it seems as though there is a corpse lying in the snow, frozen and rigid.
Oof. Can I tell who it is?
Do you want to get up close to it?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. As you get up close to it, you look down and you see that it is lying face down in the snow. You flip it over, its form unmoving, its arms still taut at its side. But you flip it over and this is an orc frozen to death in the snow.
Nice.
And with that success, you can see that in a certain direction, there is another one. Far off in the distance, but only your keen elvish eyes can see it. It seems as though perhaps this horrible terrain was too much for these orcs to bear.
Can you tell if they were coming towards the hill or leaving the hill when they expired?
You look and it seems as though they were heading towards it.
Do they have any supplies on them that we could use?
You can give me a scan roll.
This is getting into used coffee maker territory. I don't know if we really need to.
I mean, I don't know if I'll take orcish rations, but if they have like kindling or something.
Okay. You do definitely find some orcish rations, frozen as they are, some sort of a strange gruel that they might eat while on the road. You can find a couple of silver pennies on them, but other than that, it seems as though they were rather ill-equipped for the terrain.
Okay. Is there any sort of iconography on them, identifying like what road or something they belong to, like post?
Yeah, actually, you look and you can see, actually, Miragar, just your shadow lore feature alone, you can tell that these are from Karn Doom.
Okay.
And where is Karndun? Is that up in this area, supposedly?
So,
East?
can switch it back over to our Middle-earth map here.
Far north.
Karn
far
Doom
east.
is far, far north.
Yeah, okay, so
right
that-
up here. But still in the quote-unquote hot south as opposed to where you are, as the Lossoth called it.
Yeah, they traveled a long way unprepared.
Interesting.
Long way from home.
And for what? That, and Miragar points off towards the black hill. Says it doesn't seem we're any closer, but it does seem that we're on the right track, I guess.
Yes.
They never reached it.
Yes. Well, we were told that without whatever this sorcerer has, it would seem like we can never reach the hill.
It's just a trick of the eye.
Probably.
You would know.
Alright. And so, you all continue on. And as you do, you begin to see more of these expired orcs frozen to death in the snow. As soon as it seems as though the trail of orcs has run out, you come into sight in the shadow of a great fortress with black battlements, sharp spires which rise up and jut out of the surrounding hillscapes. And there's a strange presence here. And you'd guess that this is Shire.
This is the fortress we need to pass through.
Keep your eyes open.
And just take one last look at the whatever bit of sun we have up here, because it may get dark in there.
Yes.
Yep. Aranel's just gonna ready an arrow so it's knocked.
Is it? And do we think this is supposed to be the encampment or wherever where the sorcerer is supposed to be?
You would guess that that is true, yes.
Okay. Alright. Well, the good news is this weather is just as bad for anyone else as it is for us.
Alright.
Shall approach with caution.
And so, you make your way up the ruined causeway. Some of these stones crumble beneath your feet, almost to the point where you feel as though you're going to fall off. But eventually, you make your way in through this ruined gate, which is frozen and dilapidated beyond use. You make your way into this ruined courtyard. Horrible statues look out at you with cruel grins stretched across their faces. Some of them having pieces, missing arms laying next to them on the ground.
These are the same architecture of the ruins we encountered before.
Very similar. You can tell just right off the bat. Very similar.
Okay. Figured.
But yeah, you can see a number of statues still standing. You can tell that some weathered statues and mosaics are in the style of the men of Westerness. Stern lords staring out of stone, and one hand upraised in a gesture of almost blessing, the other laid upon a sword or an axe. But one statue in particular catches your eye. It has endured better than the rest, but is not altogether a wholesome sight. Its craven face is cruel and sneering, with a mocking smile twisted about the lips. And instead of a gesture of blessing, the outstretched hand clutches into a fist. And he is depicted wearing a jeweled ring. And you can see that there is a plinth beneath it with some sort of a plaque, probably with some sort of text on it, but it is currently covered in snow.
Definitely going to look at that.
Yeah, I would probably approach it with Thrush and help him wipe off the snow and ice to see if he can find any text he understands.
Okay. You can tell that this is actually written in the common tongue.
Okay.
Simply the name Gurgolwen. Gurgolwen. And in much smaller letters, in another inscription, mostly illegible, but it seems to be a list of names of sons, grandsons, possibly great-great-grandsons of whoever this statue is depicting. Or perhaps you don't know if Gurgolwen is supposed to be the name of the individual depicted or perhaps a title.
Look at Larry. Are there any Gurglewins in the Rushlight clan?
Not that I'm familiar with, no.
Oh, good. It's not your ancestor, then.
No, I don't believe it is.
Plot twist, Larry's name is on the bottom.
I've never lived here once. Who put this here?
Whoever he was, he looks cruel. Or looked cruel.
Yes.
Why would someone make a statue? Something like this. It just...
Well, if these are supposed to be evil people. And that's pretty much what we
What a
see,
waste.
right? Names, more or less. Like, there's no description, no years, dates, nothing.
No, most of it is illegible. There may be some depictions or some inscriptions of years, ages, somewhere on there, but it seems as though it's worn away with time.
Okay.
Look around at the other statues and just kind of shake his head at all of it and say, well, we should probably keep moving as much as I want to look
Agreed.
more.
Yes. I don't like this place, but this is where we have to be.
Well, you get to be in front of all of us.
I suppose I do.
Just clap him on the shoulder. Did you ever think when you were back in Bree with your family that you'd ever be someday treading in the north, far, far from home, through a dead fortress, fighting the dead?
You know, I always wanted to go on adventures and try to make a difference, and I can definitely say that, yes, I'm doing that, but I never thought it'd be to this extent. I thought maybe I'd kill some bandits here and there, help some caravans out, make things a little easier for people, but, well, this
that's
has
what you're
exceeded
doing.
this has exceeded even my wildest expectations.
Well, after this, maybe it's a good idea to take a bit of a rest.
Perhaps.
Assuming we get out of this.
Yes.
And so, are any of you looking for anything in particular as you wander about this this fortress?
And
Thrush is
trying-
looking
moving.
for... Yeah, he's looking for things that are up, because he's concerned that we're going to get riddled with arrows from above.
Larry's looking for any signs of life, because we're looking for some sorcerer or something, so presumably there would be signs that he lives here.
Okay. So I would have, let's see, Thrush, since you're looking up, I would have you give me an awareness roll, and Larry, I'll have you give me an explore roll.
Any minuses to any of this?
No?
Okay.
Okay, not bad.
Okay, very good. So, Thrush, as you're wandering about, you keep your eyes on the battlements, looking out for any pointed arrows aimed at you. And as you wander through these ruined courtyards and hallways, you can see, you catch just a glimpse of a white form looking down upon you. And as soon as your eyes meet it, it slinks behind a statue and disappears.
Pointed out. Aranel?
Yep.
See anything? Did you see that? It ducked behind a bit of a battlement or a bit of rock.
Well, I'll keep my eyes open.
I have no doubt we're being watched every step we take.
And every breath we make.
Oh, God. And, Larry, as you wander around, you come across a large stairwell leading down.
Okay.
And just as the stairwell descends into darkness, you see a large doorway. The door itself probably 10 feet tall by 10 feet wide. Heavily iron banded.
Okay. Does it seem well maintained?
It seems sturdy.
Okay. Well, I would probably let the others know. I'm like, well, this looks important. I don't know whether sorcerer favors basements or attics, but I suppose this probably leads to something.
Well, evil does like darkness.
I'll take a look at it to see if it's unlocked.
You look at it, you don't see any locking mechanism on it.
Okay.
It seems like, should you possess the strength, you might be able to open it up.
All right. I'll probably ask for Thrush's help to push this open, assuming it's not frozen solid.
Go and assist.
Okay. And you both give it your best push. And you hear the wood begin to creak, ice crack and fall off of the door and at your feet. And while it doesn't seem it's frozen shut, it is held fast.
Okay. Well, I don't think we're getting in this way. At least not through traditional methods.
If we don't hear anything stirring behind, I guess we'll look, elsewhere. But keep this in mind in case we need to come back here. Because maybe we'll have to find a way to, hew our way through the door, or try and be sneaky and get the bar raised if there is a bar.
Yes. And remind me, this door is at the base of the stairs, or?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so go down the stairs that led to this door.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing in the other direction, nothing going up?
No. It's
Okay.
just basically you exit into this another courtyard. You can see that there are several buildings which
Gotcha.
dot around this courtyard and a large fountain, or what would have been a fountain in the center. This area that you're in seems almost ceremonial in a way.
Okay.
As if whatever this stairway leads down into is a very important entrance to something, or exit perhaps.
Okay.
Look around for another entrance, or possibly holes in the foundation up here that may lead us down in there, I suppose.
Yes.
Okay. You want to go ahead and give me another explore roll?
Sure.
And then Miragar and Aranel, what are you both doing?
Aranel's kind of just keeping her eyes and ears open, kind of
Okay.
watching everyone's six.
Yeah, Miragar is sort of watching the shadows. I think he's starting to get a little scared and creeped out by everything that's happened, so...
Okay. Both of you can go ahead and give me awareness rolls if you'd like. Good lord.
That's so many. That's 4 6s.
And I have 5 success die.
That's
The other one
almost
was a
perfect
4.
roll.
Incredible. All right.
That's great.
So, Larry
Aranel can see into space.
and Thrush, you all kind of peruse about. You exit this courtyard towards through an adjoining archway, leading down what seems to be like a narrow street where you see a few outbuildings, what might have been an old forge, and what might have been probably an old armory. And you come across something very strange and uncharacteristic. Amidst all of the ruined buildings, you find what seems to be a cottage of kind of parsed together stone. Definitely not of the same construction as the fort was, but it seems as though pieces of the surrounding battlements and buildings have been gathered together and built up into a haphazard cottage. And inside, you can see it looks to be just the faintest flicker of light.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
coming out of the chimney, or just a flicker of light, like maybe a candle, like a natural light is what I'm getting at.
you can tell that there is fire within.
Okay.
And then Aranel and Miragar, as you all are traversing around, you keep your eyes on your surroundings, and you both kind of come to it at the same time. You look around and you can see that there's statues laid about on almost all sides, as if they're sentries watching anybody who might be passing through. It's almost as if they watch you as you pass by. Their heads seemingly turn just on the peripheral of your vision, and as you look and meet them, it seems as though they haven't moved. But just as you all turn away, you see the faintest sign of movement on one of the battlements, almost on the complete opposite side of where Thrush had notified you of it before. But you see a white cloaked individual staring down at you, and just as your eyes meet theirs, they slink behind some sort of cover and retreat.
We are being watched, it would appear.
It appears so.
My eyes weren't playing tricks on you then. Or all of our eyes are having tricks played on them now.
Yes.
Do we call out to it? I mean, it doesn't seem to be the enemy at the moment.
No, it's at least an unknown. Perhaps we should see what's in this makeshift cottage. If nothing else, it's shelter.
Very true.
I will try to approach the cottage stealthily.
Okay. Very good.
Guys, and barely a success.
Yeah.
Thrush is going to stay back and have his bow out and watch, because he is not exactly the most stealthy person, and he doesn't want to ruin them approaching.
Alright. He's gonna kind of slink up, see if he can look through the. Does it have a window or anything, or is it just completely stone block?
You see kind of this, there is an oblong sort of window that's built into the side of it. You can kind of see light flickering through. It seems as though it's more of almost as if it's like an arrow slit. More of a defensive structure than it is an actual viewing port.
Okay. I'll approach whatever makeshift door there is and just kind of see if it's unlocked, if it even has a lock.
Yeah, and this door seems to be this, again, kind of a haphazard construction of stray planks, which are almost rotted through and bound together with some sort of a twine. They are on kind of like tied together hinges, almost as if they're hinged to this structure with some sort of a rope on a stake that was driven inside. But it seems unlocked.
All right, I will attempt to open it quietly.
Okay. The rope kind of creaks and cracks as the door swings open, but you can look inside, and it is quite warm on the inside and deceptively cozy.
Okay. Is there anyone inside, as far as I can tell?
You look around, and while there are signs of life, the life is not present.
Okay. I'll probably kind of gesture to everyone to start filing in while still keeping an eye out behind us.
Yep, Thrush will start joining them.
I think we might have to force the hospitality out of our watcher, so to speak.
Yes. Just sit around. Sir, do you know how long you've been out for?
And I forgot, did you say there was a fire, or was it more just candlelight?
There is just the faintest fire, which is glowing in the fireplace currently.
Miragar will get it to a nice small flame and start some tea.
All right.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Very good.
I'm gonna look around this place to see who lives here.
Yeah, as you look around, you can see that there are some fur blankets and pillows. There's a nice bedspread that, or not bedspread, but there is a relatively nice bed, a comfortable looking bed, kind of off in one of the corners. You can see that there is a whole kitchen set up, and you can see that kind of gathered together in some boxes are a number of like root vegetables, and some literal roots that kind of are plumped up and seem to be at least some sort of sustenance. You see a couple of rabbits hanging from a rope that's kind of stretched across the opposite side of the cottage. And a nice, well, I say nice, a table that kind of sets off to one side that's set with a couple of cups and a candle which is currently unlit.
Is there anything like writings, texts, journals, anything of that nature that might indicate who this is?
Go ahead and give me a scan roll.
While they're looking inside, Thrush is just going to keep looking. You said there was a little opening, the little slit, like an observation window. He's just
Like an
going to be
arrow
looking out, seeing if anybody's approaching now that we're in there.
Okay.
Well, it's a great success, but it was with knives sewn on.
Okay.
Dang it, Larry.
And Thrush, why don't you go ahead and give me an awareness roll while you're looking out that window slit.
Just barely.
Nice.
Okay, very good. You look around this cottage for any signs of who might live here. You're not 100% sure because, strangely enough, whoever lives here doesn't seem to keep writings.
Okay.
And the possessions here are somewhat foreign. You don't recognize any sort of what's the word I'm looking for? There's no commonplace possessions here or manners of keeping things that would indicate as to what type of person lives here. It's almost as if whoever lives here is very alien.
Okay.
And Thrush, as you are kind of keeping an eye out, you don't quite see anyone moving about, but you do hear footsteps kind of moving off behind the cottage.
We just tell everybody, just hold up a hand and say, I hear footsteps. And kind of point over our heads back to the back of the cottage.
Yeah.
Arrow knocked.
Yeah, well, there you draw a spear and shield, and
Aimed that door.
I'll be looking around for any potential alternate entrances into this cottage.
Okay.
I think I may do as Miragar suggested and force a bit of a confrontation. It may be loud because I don't think my voice is not going to carry in this courtyard.
Okay. And so, you look around for other entrances to the cottage, and it seems as though there's just the one.
Okay.
So whoever this is would definitely need to enter through this way, but probably would not get a surprise on you. But as you all sit there and you ready an arrow to loose at whoever's coming in, you hear the sound of a female voice, both distant and near at the same time. You hear, "Who are you, and what business have you in Sinasgare?" And I think that is where we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. All right, I'm just gonna lay down here for a second. Wait, what is that? Hey man, what you got? Hold on, shh. Let me get at it. Wait, is that Tales from the Dragon's Tavern? I don't know, man. Shh. That's a subscription down there. You left one there for me? You gave me a subscription? Dang. Wait a minute. Is that Fear of Ages Past? Give it. Come on, give it to me. Give it. Subscribe. Yeah, man. Come on. What are you waiting for? Let's go. You just gonna sit there and Not subscribe or something? Look at me over here. I'm begging and pleading. Come on now. And we are back as you all sit ready for whatever awaits you on the other side of this door, as this voice, foreign and alien, but altogether understandable to you in the common tongue, says, "Who are you and what business have you in Senascare?"
I'm going to step to the door, look at everybody, and just step out and just say, we're here to confront Snava, and we have to go through this place.
And
are you going to attempt to stop us?
you said you come out the door?
Yeah.
And standing on the other side of the door, you see a form cloaked in pure white, dark hair running down both sides of her head. This is an elf, almost ghostly pale. Dark hair and eyes that seem like distant stars. You see she has an arrow knocked on her old bow. She kind of starts back as you emerge from the door and says, "You seek to confront Snava?"
Yes. The dreams have been plaguing everyone down south as of late. We left the Lossoth not long ago. They're also suffering.
And with that, she kind of motions you to go back inside as she starts to step towards the door.
He's going to make sure his hands are away from from everything. He'll step in and just make sure the door stays open and says, "We are guests, evidently."
All right. There's weapons.
And as she comes in, he's just going to simply say, as he looks out, says, "My name is Thrush."
And she kind of sidesteps you and doesn't pay much attention to any of you as she goes over to the fire and begins to stoke it up. She says, "I am called Aya. You say you're here to confront Snava and help the Lossoth. They are the ones who make offerings and worship the dark. They do not fear the hill. Let the others...
Some of them do.
Let the other mortals bow to Sauron and believe that he will save them from death."
I never said there weren't fools amongst all the races of men, and possibly others. Just looking around. But
Miragar standing next to the fire, looking at it. "How long have you been here?"
She kind of looks at you, and you can see that as she looks at you, she almost looks through you. She says, "I came here centuries ago. After the Witch King left. Angmar fell and I found it centuries later."
She looked like an elf?
She is an elf.
She is an
Oh,
elf.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so
I don't know
yes.
how I missed that. I guess, and then Miragar took down and goes, "Well, do you prefer ginger or chamomile?"
She kind of gives you a strange look. And you can tell just by the look on her face, she has no idea what you're talking about. She says, "What language is this that you're speaking?"
Tea. And he brings up like a cup which has a little thing steeping in it, and he goes, "To warm not just the body but in some cases the soul." And he hands it over and he goes, "That's chamomile. It's a nice relaxing tea. It's probably a tad bitter. It's been a rough journey, but it'll get the job done."
Miragar is our ambassador of hospitality, no matter how harsh the lands are.
Well, I mean, we knew we were coming into somebody's house, but no offense, the weather here is horrible. So if you leave your door unlocked, it's probably going to be inhabited by the time you get back.
"I don't get many visitors up here." And she takes a sip of the tea and raises an eyebrow. It kind of sits down, moves past you. Notably, doesn't thank you. Very strange and hospitable in the fact that she allows you in her home, but inhospitable in the fact that she doesn't seem to know anything about common manners.
Mm-hmm.
Does she take any special note of Aranel?
Give me an insight roll.
Quite honestly, Thrush loves everything about her because she's perfect. Perfect, lives isolated by herself, doesn't care about manners.
He's looking around going, you can make this a 2-bedroom.
Finally, the perfect one.
Maybe it's not so cold.
You can tell by your insight roll. She regards Aranel in a similar manner that she regards you all.
Okay, so she just doesn't care about anybody. Okay.
I don't know if it's that. I just think she probably doesn't know how to interact with people anymore.
Mm.
You can only make her so attractive. I mean,
Well,
stop.
I guess
take my
we're
money.
not. I guess we're not going home with Rush.
No.
Yep.
Well, Thrush just suddenly decided he loves the winter up here.
Quite a wonderful place. I'm a bit of a isolationist myself.
So,
No.
so Miragar will kind of pipe up as she is doing her thing. Have the orcs been a nuisance to you as of late? I mean, we saw some of the ones who could not make it this far, but I'm curious if there have been many that have made the journey here.
She says, the activity here has been elevated as of late. 700 years I've dwelt here, and the hill was dormant, and yet I've seen more activity. Orcs passing hither and yon. Spirits have awoken, but
Yes.
they seem to pay no heed to myself.
You've been here for 7 centuries. What brought you here?
Siniscare fascinated me. It is away from the waking world and the world of mortals and the halls of Lorien and Rivendell. I have no kindred amongst them.
Interesting.
I've been alone with only birds and beasts, and the occasional mortal would pass this way, but it's been many, many years.
Well, we don't have any interest in waylaying you or interrupting whatever it is you're doing here, but we are very thankful to have the shelter, and any information you have of what we're going to run into up ahead as we head towards the hill would be helpful.
Yes, we intend to stop this Black Orc. Many of you have been suffering because of his actions. I understand you've been disconnected from others for quite some time, so perhaps it's not of your concern, but if there's any information you'd be willing to part with, we would appreciate it.
The only information I have for you is this. Death waits for you in that hill. It
So
would
be
be
it.
most unwise for you to venture forward along the Witch King's Road.
True. We've made unwise decisions before, and if this is the end of us,
So be it.
Know this. I know not what lies in the hill, for I have sealed it. The door to the Witch King's Road has been sealed and only opens at my command.
does that point out towards where we found that door that went down?
The very same.
Well, would you unseal it and allow us to head through?
Should you wish to go to your doom?
We've come this far.
Yes.
Somebody has to deal with him, or at least try.
Yes, we're willing to try. We've come this far, and if that's our end, at least we'll die nobly.
Very well. If death is what you seek, death is what you shall find.
We seek success, but whatever we encounter, so be it.
I find that to be the most fascinating part of the hill. It is the power of death. It seems to linger, enrapture all of those who venture near it. It It's something that my kind cannot know, and it's something that and you see that she kind of gets a look of wonder on her face. I find it intriguing to know that there is an end to some things, and to get even just a glimpse of what that might feel like.
I've been close to that end many times.
Yes,
Unfortunately.
I think I understand. Your kind are so used to almost a sense of permanence that's, well, the opposite is fascinating.
Yeah. The world is ever changing, and the only thing that does not is my kind, which is why I choose to seclude myself here. Although, it seems as though you all are not wholly unpleasant company.
Well, although we have not known you long, I'd say that's probably fairly high praise from you. No offense meant.
No offense taken. Come. Why don't we have some dinner?
We would be most grateful.
Okay. And with that insight roll, Larry,
Yeah?
you kind of gather a little bit about her. You can tell that while she kind of plays this loner, wanting to be separated from everybody else,
She's a bit lonely.
she is lonely, but she is not simply lonely. You can tell that she's been alone so long that she no longer sees others as thinking beings like she is. It's kind of she's got kind of a solipsistic mindset about her. She sees the rest of the world as kind of a single entity, all not Aya, so to speak, and has sort of lost the ability to empathize and connect with other people. But you see she shutters the arrow slit, keeps the wind from blasting in, seals the door, and begins to prepare a dinner for you all. She gets out a number of the root vegetables. You see carrots and some potatoes that she somehow has found a way to gather amongst the wastes of Forochel, and puts on some of the rabbit that she had hanging up on the line. You see that she kind of descends, moves aside a crate and descends down into an unlikely cellar and grabs a jar and produces some wine and honey.
Okay. You're rather well provisioned for being in such a desolate place.
When one lives as long as I do in such a place, you find ways to provide for yourself. Provisions are not scarce if you know where to look.
I see.
And as you all eat, she sings songs in a strange, archaic form of Elvish that make you all feel as though you sit beneath stars. Very strange stars. And the world around you is young and fair. And after a spell, she says, "Please, if you would, grace me with a story or a song of your people."
And we can tell you the stories of our travels.
Oh, don't we have 2 songs that we sing?
Yeah, we
You.
do as well.
I feel like maybe performing both of those might be.
I think that is a fantastic idea.
All right.
Okay.
Take it away, Thrush.
Okay, let's see if he falls on his face.
Nope.
You've got to woo your woman.
All right. And what,
Listen, she wants to experience death. You got to convince her to give up her immortality for you, right?
Exactly. Well, to that end, he is singing. Oh my God, the lay of.
Lay of Luthien?
No, not that one. The song that we wrote for
Orthel?
Orthel. I can't remember what we called it. The
Orthel's Last Stand. Or
yeah,
something.
Orthel's Last Stand. Yes, I knew there's an L in there somewhere. But yes, because specifically her fascination with death and how mortal, makes their end and sacrifices for other people.
She seems entranced by your song, and as she takes another sip of the chamomile, she says, "Is that of your own composition?"
Yes, it commemorates someone who gave herself to save us and preserve our mission to take the fight to beings like this.
You see that there's a bit of gloominess in her eyes as you tell her about this. She says, "This Orothel that you rode with or served with, do you not see her deeds as folly in the grand scheme of the ever-changing world?"
Not at all. She died doing what she pledged to do. She was a ranger like myself, and though she left her daughter behind, she left her a legacy.
I can understand when one is as long-lived as you, that's actions that may only have consequences that last decades seem meaningless, but when your life is only decades, every year, every minute, every day counts.
You see that this is a bit of a foreign notion to her, clearly. She doesn't fully understand, and you see that there's a genuine inquisitiveness about her that she wishes to understand.
Yeah.
And then, over the course of the rest of the evening, the rest of you can make either song or riddle rolls. As she goes around and you see that she asks each and every one of you to share a riddle or a song or something about your culture that might give her a bit of insight into just who you are.
All right. Give it a shot, although I'm not great at it. Although today I am.
Great successes all around.
Today I am great about telling people about Bree.
Okay. Very good, very good. And you can see that she is more or less enraptured to a point where she eventually becomes silent and kind of just sets off brooding in a corner, but genuinely listening to what you're saying. As you're kind of going about feasting and telling your stories, you hear the sounds of footsteps on the outside.
Does she notice
Expecting
them?
company.
She says, the wretch has returned. Heed my words. There shall be no violence under my roof, or my curse shall fall upon thee. I take no sides, and I have no enemy.
Very well.
You see she's grown very stern. And you see she gets up and she opens the door. And standing on the doorstep is a figure wrapped in a heavy cloak, encrusted with snow, one hand raised against the waning sunlight, the other grasping a strangely curved staff. You see that this figure is neither man nor elf, but this is Snava.
I'm gonna look at her and then look and just incline his head slightly as he comes in, still standing, just staring.
Aranel is itching to grab an arrow, but she is restraining herself.
Yeah, Larry's like, okay, this is someone else's house, this is their rules, but that is the guy that we would very much like to kill.
Miragar goes over and goes, ginger, or do you prefer chamomile?
He says, I'll have no more concoctions, not passed by my lips. And he goes down and
concoctions.
he shakes his coat off, and you see snow just kind of fall over the floor and melt into one large puddle. And he sits down by the fire and says, "Telling tales, are we? Stories by the firelight? Well, I've got a tale for you, and it's the only one that's true. But I'll wait my turn. You get your stories and mine comes last."
All right. I mean,
I'm just staring at him.
yeah, I'm just kind of glaring at him, but I am respecting our host's wishes.
Sit down and smile, and just realize that we're getting a chance to get some insight.
That's true.
I guess at this point, yeah, Miragar probably continues. So that's when I decided that Adelar Took was the worst of the worst Hobbit. And
All right. And as he kind of sits there in the firelight, you get a good look at him. And that's a good look at what he looks like. You can see he's got kind of like a pointed, almost like a snout that ends in jagged, sharp teeth. His fingernails long and almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Chipped. Very unkempt and very, just a disgusting creature to look upon.
We've seen you before. Flea
Yeah.
Rasereg.
And you put an arrow in my leg, didn't you? And he looks over at Aranel.
Sure did. It's a shame it didn't hit somewhere else.
Oh, much like this one did. A few years passed. And he looks over at Aya. She says, "Yes, I did shoot you many years ago." And she looks over at you. "I put an arrow in his leg when I first saw him. Orcs have hunted me in the past, but he begged me to spare him, and I did. I have no enemies. And might fortunate I am for that."
I didn't know that orcs could beg for mercy.
Well, when we've got a purpose, we do what we need to do to make sure it gets fulfilled.
And I didn't think an elf could be so short-sighted as to say she has no enemies. I would say that every person that's been harmed because of him since you spared him is technically your enemy now.
She says, "The world changes as it does, and people go about their deeds. It's one long cycle that continues repeating itself. And just as some Dark Lord rises, heroes with bright swords bring him down, kill his subjects, and the same happens over and over again, and will continue until the ending of the world and my people fade."
And just look over at Aranel and everyone. This is just futile. Well, we'll still keep trying and just smile at Snaba.
And he says, "So enlighten me, why don't you? What brings you to such a folly? Coming and seeking Amon Guruthos?
You.
Little old me.
Yes, you.
Well, I'm quite humbled that you would think me so important.
Well, nightmares are plaguing the peoples of our lands, and we're going to put a stop to it.
It's unavoidable." And you can see that he grins, clearly enjoying the rare opportunity to torment you all, as it were. At least how he sees it. He clears his throat and he says, "Oh, go ahead."
Yes, that remains to be seen, Orc. We shall see.
At that, he clears his throat, and as you do, you notice that while Aya doesn't seem to be openly hostile, you see she creates space between herself and the orc.
Yeah.
And her knife is always within reach. And you see the orc kind of clears his throat, and he looks at the fire and he says, "I don't have pretty words like you. My story ain't about long ago's and never was's. Listen well. The Great Eye is looking north across the river. He's got the filthy tarks to deal with, but when he's done with them, he'll come for you. And oh, won't that be a glorious day. We'll finish what Angmar started, mark my words, and smash your little towns. Drive the elves into the sea and burn all their pretty ships. All the mountains are teeming with our lot. The mountain maggots ain't much good, but we've got hundreds of them for every one of you. And there are other things too. Older things that we'll whip up. Yon Hill for one. He made it in the first war and I woke it up. Fed it too. Like bits of meat. And there are plenty of hungry ones below who smelled blood. There are other things even the elves don't know. And oh, they'll be ready when the big push comes. They'll be ready, my friends, and you'll all be dead. The last war is coming. And you're gonna lose. You want my advice? And he looks around at you all, not waiting for an answer. Bow to him. Bow to the dark throne before Lugbars, and maybe the eye will look upon you with pity. Elseways, and you see he draws his thick finger across his throat.
Larry's just gonna look him directly in the eyes and be like, "Well, our goal will be to make sure you don't survive to see this final war either."
So I've gathered. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, consider this professional courtesy. Watch yourself.
I'd rather die free and let a generation of men live in peace until you and your kind rise again than do nothing at all. Kneeling, it's not in our nature.
Yes, you see, all this travel's made my knees a little tired. It's hard to kneel.
Well, you're gonna kneel one way or the other. Whether it be with a blade in your back or in subjugation to the Dark Lord, it'll happen. Mark my words. And with that, he grabs a steaming piece of rabbit right off of the fire, barehanded, and just tears into it. Rips a large chunk off of it and just gnashes it in his teeth.
Just reach over and pick up the kerchief that's sitting next to him and hold it out to him. You've got a little bit of something on your chin.
Saving it for later. And he waves the handkerchief away.
And he's just going to kind of turn away and get out his whetstone and and just draw Mythor. Just turn away from him, draw Mythor so it's catching the light of the fire, and just start sharpening it and just humming under his breath.
Well, you've got yourself a pretty little blade there, don't you?
Just a tool.
A fat lot of good it'll do you.
It's served me well so far, and it will serve me until I die. Until someone else picks it up.
And, I have to ask, Larry, are you... do you have Estelong about you?
I mean, it's probably on my back.
Okay. And at this, you see he looks over at you, and then you see that his eyes catch Estelong. And he flinches for just but a moment. And then laughs. He says, "So you've dug up some old ironmongery, have you?
I've heard tell of that blade. I'll have you know it doesn't matter. Know what happened to the last man who brought that spear here? He went mad and ran away, and everyone who came with him died. He abandoned them to die down there in the dark, so the story goes.
Well, I'm not sure you're the most reliable storyteller.
You might be surprised at how many of my words ring true.
We shall see. But I know this blade has power, and it will serve me well.
Whatever you say.
You believe in your dark lord, and I believe in the power of the goodness of men.
We'll see how far that gets you.
And with that, you see that Aya is more or less silent, observing the interaction between you all and the orc. These two groups who are clearly enemies, and she's intrigued by the interaction and doesn't interrupt, but you can see that she keeps a watchful eye on you all so as to make sure that, even especially as Thrush draws Mythor, you see that she kind of lurches forward just a bit and sees you begin sharpening it and kind of settles back down and is just observing you.
Let her observe. And he's literally just kind of turned his back on Snava, and everyone else is just focusing on making sure that the blade is maintained.
All right. And is there anything else that anybody would like to do?
If I get the opportunity, I'll trip Snava on his way out. But that's about it.
You could probably try, but at a certain point, it becomes clear that you all are probably going to be sharing the cottage with Snava. As it doesn't seem as though he is keen to leave yet and needs rest. You see he rips a piece off of his cloak and begins and continues tying it to his leg, almost as if he had been injured, or if he's supporting the leg that Aranel had shot previously.
It's a good thing I don't need to sleep.
He's like still bothering you.
Oh, this old thing. Yeah, it's been through the ringer a few times. Might have slowed me down, but it ain't stopped me.
If I didn't think you'd vomit it back up, I'd give you a sip of something the elves gifted us with.
Yeah, I don't need it. I'm healing up right as rain. Can't you tell?
Definitely.
Oh, yes, I'm sure of that.
And so, if there is nothing else that you all would like to do...
I mean, I'd love to kill this guy, but I suspect this centuries-old elf would kick my ass, so...
Yeah. Thankfully, we're polite enough to not do that, but yeah, no, Aranel's just gonna be watching him like a hawk the entire time.
Okay.
And as Thrush kind of gets done taking care of the blade, puts it away, gets himself kind of situated in the corner, assuming, there's like a spot next to the hearth, he can kind of just bundle himself up in his cloak and then lean back against the wall and just say, "Sweet dreams," and tilt his head down to go to sleep.
And with that, you just hear him say,
Sweet they should be, yes.
And he's just gonna steal himself because he's like, "Oh my gosh, our dreams are gonna be so horrific tonight."
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna be so bad. We're right next to the hell.
yeah, and those of you who do sleep You are plagued by some of the most horrible dreams that you've had so far. You see the hill itself is looming above you. Things that you most fear make themselves readily apparent and unavoidable. People around you who you care about, who are still alive, and people who have fallen make themselves known to you and are enraptured by the hill, cannot look away, and eventually absorbed into and enveloped by the shadow that emits from the hill itself. You watch as they all fade away into blackness, and you are left standing alone in the hill's shadow. And you feel a rumbling beneath your feet as if the hill groans to life. And meanwhile, as you all sleep, I need for Miragar, Thrush, and Larry to make me shadow rolls for wisdom.
Yeah. Whew.
Trying to decide if I'm going to use a hope point on this. Yes. Gonna hope. Didn't need it.
All right, very good.
Nice.
Okay, so you all are able to avoid taking any additional shadow points, as it seems as though perhaps you have steeled yourselves to the visions of these dreams. However, they, while frightening as they are, you're able to bury them down and make sure that they do not affect your next course of action. Meanwhile, Aranel, as everyone else is sleeping, you can see that Snava, sometime in the middle of the night, gets up and he begins throwing on his cloak. He gathers up his staff and proceeds to head out the door.
Is Aya still awake as well?
At this point, you see that she is kind of resting off in the corner, her eyes closed.
She said no violence under the roof, but what about outside? That's what Aranel's thinking.
That is a very tempting question.
Oh, what a bummer. He went out in the storm and never came back. Oh, no.
Yeah. She'll let him leave.
And at that, the door kind of creaks shut, and you hear trudges through the snow, one leg dragging behind the other, until it fades away into the sound of the wind. So, Thrush, at a certain point in your sleep, you are awoken from your horrible nightmare by Aya as she comes over to you. And Aranel, you can see this plainly. Sometime after Snava had left, Aya comes over to Thrush and says, shakes you awake and says, I fear the orc is right. There can be no escape from the shadow, and all efforts to fight it are in vain. But neither will I give in to it. I will find what joy I may in the time that is left to me, however long or short that is. You could come with me. And you see she reaches kind of into a little pouch that she has at her side. She says, I have this. And she holds up a jeweled ring. The same ring that you all had seen on the statue depicting Gurglewin.
Ah.
This will not let you escape the doom of mortals, but it will delay it for a little while. Take it, and we'll flee together and hide until the end.
He is going to just reach out, clasp it back in her hand, and then just kind of lift her chin up and say, no, I'm set on my path. If I fall, I fall. It's fine. I'm doing what I was supposed to do. And he's going to just hold up the ring he has. It's a token from Elrond's house. And say, besides, I already have a ring.
She looks at you in amazement. She says, is this the way of all mortals?
All? No. I wish it were. Not all of us have been, well, and look over at Aranel and Miragar and Larry, have had our eyes opened to what we need to do for everyone else who comes behind us to succeed. You know, I go to war so Miragar can someday grow, well, whatever it is he grows in his garden, and serve tea. That's the way of it.
That one's particularly stubborn, though. Pointing at Thrush.
She looks over at you, Aranel, and then back at Thrush and says, yes, this much is readily apparent. Though, I wish not to dwell in these lands any longer. While the hill did fascinate me, it seems the shadow has grown heavily on me. It weighs me down in ways that I had not experienced before, and I feel as though I must abscond. Must flee from this place. But I have no refuge in the woods of Lorien, or the halls of Elrond, or in the harbors of Lord Círdan.
Well, and you said you don't care for the Lossoth. If you want to meet other people of my kind, there are a few of us left. You can always make your way to Weathertop.
Go ahead and say I would call for either a persuade or a enhearten roll, one of the two.
We're gonna go with enhearten because his persuade is horrible. And he is going to actually spend a hope on this. And in the effort to just, if nothing else, convince her that there is something out there worth looking for.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Very good.
Oh, on that.
That I should dwell amongst your kin. Intrigues me also.
Lived, but not that long lived. But they have a similar mindset.
Perhaps I should find more purpose down in the hot south than up here. 700 years I've dwelt here and been alone the whole time, with only faint spells of company. I'm intrigued by your people, and looks around at all four of you. And I should be glad to retreat to the south, if they should have me.
Someone will.
You know, Larry's family is something of merchants themselves.
And at that, she says, kind of one last time, you can tell that this is kind of her last warning. She says, what the orc said is true. Only doom awaits you in that hill. And I should unlock the way for you if that is your wish. But know that it is not my wish that you go to your doom.
We wish it and we thank you. More than one person on our path has made a way for us and warned us off, and we've thus far prevailed. But if this is our doom, you've warned us.
And to that she says, so be it.
I do hope to see you again now. in the hot south.
Should fortune find us, we'll make it so. And with that, she stands up and kind of returns to her place back in the corner. And you all can finish out the rest of the night unhindered, unmolested.
Thrush is just going to have a lot of nice dreams about an elf lady who smells very nice.
And so, the next morning arrives. You all awaken to the sight of the sun once again as Aya opens up the door, opens up the little arrow slit. You can see that she kind of looks out around, seeing if there's anybody out there. And she says, "It seems as though the orc is gone.
Yep.
Hopefully he won't be too much trouble for you. But it
Well.
seems... Hopefully you all have fortune on your side."
Well, we've survived Tel Orwin, we've survived Rance Rag. I think we'll be fine.
With that, she gives you a nod and says, "Well, is it time for you to proceed then?"
I probably turn to Miragar because he's our clock right now and ask, is it time to proceed?
I think one quick hot breakfast and off to our dooms, so to speak.
And for the first time at that, you see Aya smile.
While we're eating and he's making food, Thrush is going to just move over to her and just, in a whisper, just tell her, if you do make your way to Weathertop or the Angle, look for my people. If you find one named Gilran, you can let her know where we went and, well, what happened to us, if you know.
Gilrain, I shall wait for you here. And should you return, we should journey there together.
Well, you've waited here for 700 years. I suppose a short amount of time is not going to make a difference.
With that, she smiles again. Laughs a little bit, but just enough to where a little bit of air comes out her nose.
Nice.
And at that, you all set out and return to the large banded door, which lies at the bottom of this dark stairwell. She approaches it and mutters a few words underneath of her breath. And you feel a strange shift in the wind as she does so. A strange archaic form of Elvish that none of you really know off the top of your head. Aranel, you might be able to pick out a few words. But mostly it would be in some form of Quenya.
Okay.
And with this shift in the wind, you see she gives ever the faintest push to the door and it creaks open. And you see ice falls and shatters on the ground as the door opens. And she steps back towards you. And you see this encroaching darkness almost emanating from this road that leads underground. And she says, "This is the Witch King's Road. Proceed with caution. But know that this is the only route into the Hill of Fear. Amon Guruthos waits just beyond. Steel yourselves against the darkness that waits within. And I hope to see you back here."
I will kind of turn her and be like, is this how the orc gets here as well?
He has paths.
So
I'm not
then
sure
that's-
of what methods he travels. He has his own ways about him.
Fair enough. Well, that does at least mean this is not the only path, but this is the one we have, so be it.
And so, you all proceed inside?
Yep, Thrush is going to reach out and just take her hand one last time and trying to be, the person that he's seen other people be before, just take her hand gently and try to kiss it on the back of her hand, just in a a deferential little bow to her with his head and turn away and go.
You catch the slightest bit of shock, as this is not something that you can tell that this is not something that's happened to her before. But she doesn't fight it, and she gives you all a nod, and you all descend into utter blackness. And that is where we are going to call today's session.